Here we go. It is Shakuras Temple, and in the top right, we have the leader of the group. It's Boa. He is up right now, 4-1 in this group. Oh, it's the bottom right. I do this every time. I can't help it. And in the top right, it's Gypsy. Gypsy, of course, 3-2 right now. Five maps wins. I mean, it can go other ways as well, right? Like, you don't necessarily need 5 if the other 2 are both winning a decent amount of games. So whoever has the most wins at the end. Boa winning this guarantees. Gypsy then gives himself a shot if he beats Jaeyoon to take it down. All right, Boa throwing out a pylon. We'll see what Gypsy does. Now, Gypsy choosing Shakuras. Again, this map is a little bit hard against Protoss, in my opinion, but there are some very strong things you can do here. Like, it's a very good map for gasless expansions. It's a very good map because Zealots are not that good here, opening Zealot. It's kind of a big map. The Zealots don't generally get damage done. I think also the expand that we saw from Gypsy on Sylphid, where you go gas with 1 mining on 13 into the command center before factory. I think that's a really good build here. Any expansion into 2 factory play is very strong. And that's because of the layout of the ledges. Like, for instance, if you're here as Gypsy and you go fast expansion into 2 fact, if you can get to this position against a Protoss here, it's super strong, right? Because you can, like, siege the high ground and push down very quickly and keep a lot of pressure on. In these spots, it's, like, way harder, right? Because if you were to push to here, right here to here is very far. Whereas if you go the other way, like here to here is actually very close. So there's like a rotational thing, I guess. Like, if you are close horizontally, that build is very, very strong. Here it's vertical, so not as good, but it's still a very strong play, I think, as well. All right, so Gypsy looks like he is just going regular factory opener. Oh, okay. He had 2 SCVs on there, but pulled 1 off. So never mind. He's going to be going for that very fast expansion. A nice build. And just scouting what's going on here. The reason the SCV is sitting right there is you want to see if a Zealot's popping out. The Zealot comes out at 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and it doesn't. So he knows now that he doesn't have to build a second Marine or a bunker or anything, and he can just go for his command center. All right. Looking good for Gypsy. I mean, as far as just the very opening builds, this is where you want to be as Terran. Scouting Protoss first. They didn't make a Zealot, and you're doing this build. Very clean, very nice. All right, Gypsy once again runs away with that SCV. We'll see what Boa does, because, right, he lost that Neo-Sylphid game where they were actually, like, basically the same openers, but we haven't seen what... Like, Boa might change something up here as well. Looks like he wants to go ahead and just do the 2 pylon into Nexus. Very popular build. Probably the most popular opener for Protoss right now. Bunker coming down. Perfect place to land the racks. Is it, though? I think, actually, this was supposed to be 1 hex to the right, but... That's okay. It's not a big deal. Especially not with these builds. Alright, so Nexus coming down. He's going to chase down that SCV. Important to deny as much scouting as is possible. And Gypsy throws down the second fact. Okay? He does not get confirmation as to what's going on, whether there's a Nexus or what tech there is. So there is risk inherent in this. If your opponent is tricking you and, like, they start this and they start... range and then cancel as your SCV leaves the base, you need to start your engineering bay by 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Very easy to remember. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to have the turret up in time to stop DT. Now, Gypsy has just gone directly into 2 factory. If Boa was going directly into DT, Boa would probably win this game straight up. Because it's very, like, the DTs would be coming out as the push comes. But like I said, any expansion into 2 factory play is strong on Shakuras. So we see Gypsy doing that. Maybe it's a little bit of a risk a little bit, but yeah, he's given himself a very strong build, which I think is smart. All right, so just repairing against the goons. Running back with that SCV. 2 gates, observer for Boa. Now, let's see. I don't think he's adding a 3rd gate, because generally you'll see both of them thrown down at the same time. But the fact that he's going gate, observer, gate means that he's probably getting ready for a 3rd base, and that's what this build is actually quite good against. I think if they go into Reaver, but not super fast Reaver, or into 2-gate observer, you're going to be pretty happy with this build overall. All right, looks like he's going siege first. Getting his armory as well. It's unclear how much pressure Gypsy is going to apply with this build. If you decide to get siege, like, you don't actually need siege against this many goons. You can micro it. Yeah, he does get that siege. Certainly this is going to be speed. Okay. So this is actually a very old variant of gasless expand. And it's not exactly gasless expand he did. It's the 1 gas, you know, the 1 SCV on gas expand, which is just slightly slower version of gasless expand. But this is an older thing. People don't do this as much right now. So what you do is you go to factories, you get siege to hold off the goons, and then you pop out like 4 to 6 vultures with speed and mines. And as soon as the tank is out, generally the goons will move back a little bit. So you can run by goons. The thing is, if they stand in position, all you're going to do is lay down mines to see when and where they're expanding, basically. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, the vultures, the likelihood of them getting damage is very low if they pull back like Boa did here. So it's not as popular anymore, but it's still a good build, what Gypsy's doing. Now he has that armory floating. He has the comsat's going to come up in a second. Runs down, but as you can see, yeah, even with that speed upgrade, there's plenty of goons here. You can split off a few and just start clearing the mines. And Gypsy will go down. And the thing is, you can't really stop this, right? If you run out immediately and make a beeline towards the 3rd base in this type of situation, sometimes you can catch the probe and the Nexus won't start for a lot longer. And that becomes very powerful for you. But unfortunately here, it's already started. What can you do? Just lay some mines around, keep tabs, make your opponent play defensively. Because you do have those speed vultures that can massacre a mineral line quickly. Okay. So here we are. We've seen the openings. We do have that support bay coming up. Now, is he going to go Reavers? Yeah, I think he will, but I think it's quite likely that we'll see speed for the shuttle for him. Because it's kind of late anyways. Like a slow Reaver drop is not going to do anything here. Yeah, like I doubt it will. That would be very surprising if it did. We do see the 3rd command center coming up, and that's after the starport and 3rd factory. So a very conservative macro build coming out of Gypsy here. But it fits together very, very well. I like his play this game. Very solid. All right, the shuttle coming up. Now, are we going to see... Okay, the Citadel's up. He's up to 5 gates, but is he going to go Templar Archives right away? Is he going to go into Arbiter? Okay, he has the speed. So this is what I was looking for. On this map, this is really good going speed shuttles. So we should be seeing many speed shuttles out of Boa. Psy Storms, Reavers, just everything. And then Gateway units to back that up. The one thing we did see from him previously against Gypsy on one of the games was late upgrades. He did kind of slouch on that a little bit. Anyways, we do have a 2nd shuttle that's out now. And some of the things that Boa is going to be looking for is like when Gypsy walks out of his base, maybe doing a counter drop. Maybe if Gypsy's trying to come up a ramp, dropping on top of those siege tanks. A Wraith being added, that's kind of interesting. The Wraith can be a very good deterrent for shuttles. And you can like right click it on shuttle, and technically you can do moving shot, but it takes too much attention and too much micro to really do. Like I guess if you want to just attack move your units in to deal with it, you can give that attention. But it's not really a counter to speed shuttles. Speed shuttles whiz by so quickly that the Wraith can't punish them before they offload what they need. So kind of interesting. We'll see what the Wraith does for him. I'm definitely not against it. It's also kind of a stylistic preference if you like to have a Wraith in addition to the other stuff you're doing. All right, Boa clearing some mines right now. Doesn't need observers, can just attack move. That's funny. The ones with the observers get hit. The ones without do not hit. Explain that to me, Blizzard. Please. All right, double shuttle coming up. I don't think he breaks this. Like, if you just target your goon... Yeah, no. What are we doing? Oh, my God. He gets the speed lots on top of the tank. So, oh, no, the vultures run back. And, oh, maybe we do break this. This is not looking hot right now. Boa might be advancing to the finals with a victory here. Let's see if Gypsy can hold on. Pulling back. He does have 2 tanks on the high ground. I think he can live through this, but certainly some significant damage. Now, okay, not too many SCVs dying. He's almost held. Both the tanks go down. That's an issue. Oh, that mine killing 4 or 5 SCVs and some units for the cost of a goon. Gypsy only on 4 factories right now. No siege tanks, guys. Not looking hot. All right, the observer stays alive. He's going to be able to push this all back, and Gypsy's going to have to lift this command center. Now, Boa's not huge. He has 6 gates. He's on a style that sometimes has a hard time finishing games. He's only on three Nexuses. I wouldn't leave the game as Gypsy. It's hard to say. Sometimes Gypsy can be a little bit emotional with his play, but I think there's still some potential to win this. He's got his 2-1 rolling. He has 3 command centers already. It's okay to not be mining from your 3rd for a little bit. If he remakes the siege tanks, gets a couple turrets up, lays a bunch of mines, he can mass up and retake that base. It is possible. Like, Boa skipped out on powering up his gates for that attack, right? Like, he could have added the gates more early, but he wouldn't have had a big enough army to break it. Whereas, okay, so like if he had all these gates done right now already, then he would have had rounds of like, okay, here's 9 more units and 9 more units and 9 more units. And then he could just attack again and kill Gypsy. But because he had enough units to hurt Gypsy right then, he didn't have enough gateways to replenish for a kill move. So, yeah, I don't think he can really kill him right now. Gypsy's going to be able to remass. He's actually getting him to a very nice amount of factories. 7 is perfect in this situation. You want to be careful about, like, you don't necessarily need 8 or 9 factories every single game TVP. A lot of the time you're just like, okay, solid production, play defensively, make some turrets, stuff like that. Okay, Gypsy getting ready to move into a different position. He's skipping up here. Good call. He has vultures roaming on the map. He has some mines. This is going to give him advanced warning of anything coming in. Now, Boa's expanding here and here. I don't like this expand towards Gypsy. I guess if Gypsy retook this expand becomes more powerful. But because Gypsy's landing his CC here, this is going to be the easiest kill on the entire map for Gypsy. Not that he can attack yet, but yeah, it's definitely one he won't be able to hold on to if Gypsy gains any sort of momentum in this game. All right, let's see where Boa's at. Where's his shuttles? Okay, we have one there. Do we only have 1 speed shuttle? Would love to see a bit more out of Boa. It seems like he's just playing a bit of gateway man right here, with maybe High Templars in the shuttle, which obviously that's good, but I'd like to see just like a little bit more of that. Gypsy setting up heavily. Lots of mines, really well positioned. Good amount of vultures. Notice he's using buildings here. This is so important as well. This barracks kind of spotting for him, laying some more mines here as well. You need to lay like 1,000,000 mines in this situation. Keep your tanks sieged up back behind some buildings. Make it really cost inefficient for your opponent to attack. And I think he's fine here. Look at the supply. We have a 25 supply advantage for Boa. And looking at his probe count, it's an army. Yeah, he does not have too many probes. Gypsy. Yeah, okay, so he has, I'm going to guess, a 20 supply advantage. They have approximately the same amount of workers here. But that's fine, because when you're sieged up, he's got 2-1. Let's see Boa's upgrades. 0-0-0. Again, just like that other Neo Silpha game. He does have double forge rolling, though. Yeah, good spread from Gypsy, making his 4th CC. We saw this move from Gypsy before as well. Kind of peculiar, running around with like 2 groups of vultures. Like I said, even 1 group is gangly to run around with. Whereas if you have something closer to 8, they keep a better formation, don't bump each other so much and whatnot. Okay, Boa roaming the map here with his own couple groups of Dragoons. So many vultures on the map right now. And this is an awesome move. I love moves like this to just kind of reduce the Zealot count, put some damage on them. You've got all these extra vultures. Honestly, in this type of game, you want to keep Protoss busy with your vultures while you max out and keep trading them, because then your tank count continues to grow and you have a stronger overall max when you get there if you just continually trade vultures. Now, he does run out with those couple of groups that we were talking about before. And when you have this many vultures with 2-1, you actually massacre cannon. So he's going to get those. Start picking off some probes too. Gypsy getting himself right back into this game. Was looking pretty scary when he actually ended up losing his entire army at his natural. Every tank died. But now he's on 3 add-ons, 7 facts. Running around, killing some probes. Keeping Boa very busy. But Boa, he's being a sneaky snake. Sneaky constrictor over here. Sneaking that top left base. If he secures this, that becomes very scary for Gypsy. You can't, on a 4-player map, let Protoss have 3 of the mains. It's too much area to build gates. It's too hard to push into. Pushing up ramps against Protoss is as hard as pushing up ramps against Terran. All right, he's throwing 4 cannons up. See, that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, to kill this, you need, like, 5 siege tanks and 3 scans. And at that point, you have DTs coming out, too. So it's like, and arbiters. All right, Gypsy, his supply getting higher. You notice he's traded out a lot of vultures. He doesn't have nearly as many. Look at his siege tank count. It's insane. Okay, so we got 12, then 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So he has 26 siege tanks right now. He has 3-2 upgrades done. His army will evaporate this army. What Boa needs is mine drags, tank splash, and his psi storms. Like, those are the ways that he can win against the army that Gypsy has. So what Gypsy needs to do is move slowly, but you can't move too slowly, right? Because Boa's taking the whole map. You got to make something happen. But his army is certainly better. There's not a question. Okay, Boa's actually attacking, and this is kind of funny because we saw this on Sylphid as well, where, ooh, he drops those out. Gets some decent side storms, but yeah, the attack right now, I think he attacked only because he was maxed. Because that position was certainly not where you want to attack. Now, as he loses that army, he should be able to remax relatively quickly. He has a lot of gates right now. We have 11 gates here. And we're going up to 6 gates. So 17 gates, 21 gates, 22 gates. Okay, so he can produce 44 army supply at a time out of those. So yeah, that's a quick remax. Literally, you get 100 army supply in about a minute. All right, the vulture's coming up, trying to pick off some psi storms. When the storms gets out, the siege tank count is so ludicrous. Look at this. But that storm, oh my god, if he gets another one. It takes 2 storms to kill a tank. It also takes 2 storms to kill 5 tanks, which is something you're likely to see this game. All right, up comes the first arbiter of the game. Oh my god, he's actually getting a very good engagement. Gypsy not with that many vultures. Great storm goes off. Actually does a stasis here that gets his own shuttle as well. That's kind of interesting. Okay. Pushes back that for now. Now, as long as Gypsy rallies out vultures really quickly, he can get in here and stop reinforcements from this base. But that's why you're building these gates at the other locations. So if he gets in here, we'll see Boa's production shift heavily to the other mains, so he can still get army onto the map. Coming down into this natural. Looks like he's going to push a little bit harder. Okay, sieging up. He's going to be able to get this Nexus. This is a big moment. We saw him make that mistake on Neo Sylphid. Moving a few tanks over the side as well. 2-2 upgrades are done for Boa, so that's kind of nice. Ooh, sick mine hit. But look, we have those flanks starting to come in, right? He's picking off a few units. These were the ones that were stasis. They're unstasis now. Takes them out. Gypsy's production is very good, though. He's got the 4 base. Of course, 2 of them are mined out. Or just about, at least. It's kind of funny, I have to say, that he's in here killing the natural before this base. Yeah, he's got to rally down. He cannot let these tanks be removed. It's so super crucial and important to keep some sort of footprint here. All right, more tanks and vultures coming down. Gypsy looks like he might be able to break Boa's back here. This is leaving Boa on this base, which will be cleaned up instantaneously. This one, not that many probes. This one, good saturation. This one, not that many probes. So his economy is about to be completely shattered, especially if you move 2 tanks here. Like, this dies for free. Gypsy, does he even know about it? He must not, because that's the easiest thing in the whole world is sending 2 tanks there. Kind of hilarious. All right, Gypsy moving across the map. Looks like Boa's trying to get a bit of a counterattack here onto Gypsy's 4th base. Gypsy does bring back the units from the attack to defend. Of course, he will be able to plaster these goons. He's got those 3-2 upgrades, although Boa now on those 2-2. That's very nice as well. Gypsy taking a 5th. So good at expanding, gotta say. Very tough thing to do. Speaking from experience. All right, Gypsy retains map control right now. But look at this. We have a lot of arbiters. He needs to be careful. If these get EMP'd, that's a big deal. He's down 30 supply right now. So he needs his arbiters to do their job. And I mean, if I'm Gypsy right now, I would be thinking to myself, if I get an EMP off on this group, I win. That's what this would feel like, I think, right? Because it's like right now the only thing you're afraid of is recall and stasis ruining your main or your army. All right, the ARB's coming over. He's split them up though very well. Okay, a nice stasis there. Boa loses another nexus. He is bringing up a lot of reinforcements. There wasn't a contain kept here. We finally do have a siege here. So Gypsy looks like he's going to kill 2 nexuses here. Some very good stasises, but he is losing some army. Boa running down. Oof. Okay. Looks like he will clear this army. And unless Gypsy takes his whole army to reinforce, pretty much all of this should die. Like, maybe a vessel can get away if he dematrixes. All right, he kills off this base. More units flowing out of the top left. So painful that he got that top left. And he actually denies the space for Gypsy. Boa, like, I mean, I don't envy the position he's in, but he's fighting really well right now. He's made some moves that actually make you think there's some sort of chance. All right, a ton of probes massacred there. What do we have? Gypsy mining very well from those 2 bases. Ooh, Boa bleeding off some more units. All right, the MP does get this ARB. Would love to see a bit more anti-air. Like, add in a handful of Goliaths. It's even, like, I mean, he has enough gas. He could go, like, I mean, you know, I do like ghosts now against arbiters in the late game. Even popping out just a few wraiths can be helpful. Like 3 wraiths, just send them and kill an arbiter like that once you EMP. The thing is, you want to secure those kills too, but he's doing very well. Just macroing up, keeping that strong ground force, just a few Goliaths here and there. Yeah, he pumps out a few, so that's good. Does still have that wraith. So many vessels out as well. He's done great on that macro. Normally don't think about that TVP very much, but it's actually, vessels are incredible against Protoss. Just hard to use. Okay, here we go. High energy. Oh, he tries to do a loop-de-loop. Unfortunately, gets EMP'd. All right, Dragoons coming up. Oh, a move command not paying off right there. That's for sure. Oh, I thought that might be an Arbiter. I'm like, oh, he's gonna get the 4th. Nope. Gypsy way ahead now. Boa really with nothing left. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure how Boa could end up taking this. It does come down to just spells. Gypsy is just kind of playing cleanup duty. He's like chasing down anything he sees and trying to kill it, basically. And Boa has such small force over. See, like, these units come up, he's like, okay, go kill these. Boa coming up with some storms. Oops. Oh, that was a 6 storm right there. Get some vessels. EMP comes down. That's going to be it for the storms. And he can kill this base with what he's got here. Boa really can't hold on much longer. And that's kind of weird. Like, I don't think... Are there any Arbiters left over? I don't think so. Observer coming over to scout. Handful of Boa units there. Yeah, this army. He's up 100 supply. Boa, so close here. Not able to finish off this group. My God. All right, this is the last stand of Boa. That's it. GG. Gypsy gonna take him down. Epic game right there. My God, we have so many epic games here tonight. And guys, that means, look at this. This is craziness. 4-2, both of them. So we've played 8 maps. Up next, maps. It's Jaeyoon against Gypsy.